Turning now to our ongoing series, Running Dry, covering water issues across Arizona. It seems like all we hear about is how we have to save water, how there isn't enough water to go around. Well, one of the ideas that may sound a little bit out there is desalination.
Taking water from the ocean is a bold idea for the desert, but the state budgeted hundreds of millions of dollars for the idea. 12 News journalist William Pitts looks at whether the Pacific Ocean could be the answer to our water woes.
We're fortunate here that we are coastal. We are right by the largest reservoir in the world.
The Pacific Ocean, an almost unlimited supply of water that you can't drink. Until it comes here.
It's a 50 million gallon per day facility. It's the largest in North America.
The Carlsbad desalination plant just north of San Diego.
We've produced over 120 billion gallons of high quality drinking water, and it represents about 10% of the water for San Diego County.
It starts with water in this lagoon right off the ocean. The water comes into the plant, it's cleaned of dirt, rocks, and other big particles. Then it's cleaned again and again before finally running through these filters.
So there's over 16,000 membranes inside.
Those filters are stacked high inside the building. The water that comes out is actually too clean.
But once the water is produced through these, it's almost to a distilled quality. We actually have to put minerals back into it to create hardness for flavor and taste and color.
Out of 2 gallons of seawater, they're left with 1 gallon of fresh and 1 gallon of super salty water. That super salty water is diluted in more seawater and pumped back into the ocean. The fresh water goes to the city supply.
All right. Pacific on tap.
But there's a cost, a big cost. The plant itself and a 10-mile pipeline to connect it to the city's system cost about $1 billion. There's power costs. The water has to get pumped uphill. Right now, the Carlsbad desalinated water is about $3,400 per acre foot. An acre foot is the amount of water 3 houses use in a year. Colorado River water is about $500 an acre foot.
It currently is our most expensive supply, but when you look at alternative water, what new water is out there? There is no cheap water anymore.
There's long been an idea to build a desalination plant in Mexico, down by Rocky Point. Arizona's Water Infrastructure Finance Authority initially voted to start negotiations for a $5.5 billion plant. The group then backed off, saying it wanted to see other bids and ideas.
Building a desal plant during a water crisis is kind of like shopping when you're hungry. It's probably a bad idea.
Sarah Porter with the Kyle Center for Water Policy at ASU says it's not that desalination is a bad idea, it's that we're not sure we even need it yet.
You don't want to build an ocean desal plant until you're sure that you have a market for that very expensive water.
The way around that, Porter says, is to build the plant and then not use it. Mexico would get the plant and the water. Arizona would then take the Colorado River water that Mexico gets now, and it's a trade.
That water could be delivered with the existing infrastructure that we have here, the Central Arizona Project.
Those partnerships aren't new. The Carlsbad plant is actually starting to do things like that in California.
There are partnerships, there's paper exchanges, there's a market out there that could be tapped.
But Porter says Arizona's not out of water. There are other sources and other methods. A desalination plant could end up being useless.
We do have examples all around the world, including in California, including in Florida, of big investments in ocean desal plants that wound up being mothballed. Well, we have one in our own state.
This is the one in our own state, the Yuma desalting plant. It's not running. In fact, it's barely ever been run in 30 years.
It was built at a time when, it seemed like this would be a good solution, and then it wasn't needed.
The plant's been tested. It's had some water run through it. It was built to clean water that ran off of Yuma's farms. But now that water has collected further in Mexico and created a new wildlife habitat.
Part of the issue with running the desal plant is that you cut off the water supply for one of the last remaining places for migratory birds.
And environmental concerns are part of the opposition to desalination. Environmental groups fought against the Carlsbad plant, saying the extra salty water could kill off marine life, something plant officials dispute. There's no easy solution when it comes to water. Every plan has its ups and downs, like waves in the ocean. Desalination could be a way to get more water, or it could just leave a salty taste. In Carlsbad, California, William Pitts, 12 News.
Well, thanks.